Rule number 3 is to always be aware of your surroundings. And I don't mean to sound like I'm Shaolin monk or something like that, but when you're dealing with a monster like this and with shorter legs, you always want to be sure that you know exactly what to do. If you're ever going to find yourself into trouble, that's probably going to be at very slow speeds or when parking your bike. When you are on those situations, you want to definitely have a strategy and look around, see what the terrain is looking like. Is there any slopes, there are any slippery surfaces, stuff like that, right? In those situations, and most likely your number one enemy is going to be slope. You want to be sure that if there's a little bit of a downhill, you turn your bike around and then back it down, right? Because if you park your bike downhill, then you don't have the engine power to get out of the downhill, right? Also remember rule number 1 of don't pay attention to the audience. So if you're a parking lot, for example, and you see a bit of a slope or something like that, stop for a second, look around, see, if there are any better spots or whatever, right? And if there's no option, then do what I just said, use your engine to turn around and then back down into the downhill, because then going uphill with the engine is no problem at all, right? Other things to have in mind, if there's any type of rough terrain or slopes or whatever, right? Always leave your bike in gear. First gear, just deploy your side stand, the bike will turn off automatically, and that will act almost like a handbrake. That will definitely help you to keep your bike safe and stable. So if you're riding around and you're slowing down on traffic, but the terrain has a little bit of a slope, think about it, right? And always try to put your one foot that is on the higher side, right? So, because if you try to go to the low side, you won't be able to find the ground at all, right? Also, if you need to put your side stand, and we'll see an example on how to do that on a slope, always try to park it either on the uphill or at an angle. And if you have to be parallel to the slope, always try to make sure that the side stand is on the higher side as well, right? But also, be careful with that, because if the slope is too pronounced and you put your side stand on the uphill, the bike might be too upright, and that's also not good, right? Because if it is too upright, it might just lean over, right? So things to consider. Like I said, look around, have a strategy, take your time, and then slow down or park your bike.